overcome failure? Kuti na chimfya shani ukufilwa? Today I want to answer this question. I've been receiving messages from followers who are asking me, Prophet, how do I overcome failures? And from all over the world, this is actually a general question that most of you, if not everyone, you have encountered or come across this question on how you can overcome your failures. So today I want to address this question and make sure that I do everything I can to answer in a very simple and short way, which will be so beneficial to you. Now, before I do that, allow me to say my thanks to you people who are following, the viewers. Today we can boast over 280 something plus viewers from our YouTube channel, and this is nothing but a stepping stone to our next level, and this is an indication that we are growing despite the failures in our way. A shout out to my team. I salute you guys, for you have always been there to make sure that this program goes according to our plans and with the help of the Almighty. Back to our question today. I'm answering this question using two cardinal points. The first point is how to consider failure as a blessing and the gateway to growth. Keep going and keep growing. One example I want to use is the story of a king from a certain village, a wise and powerful king from a certain village who had a very wise advisor. This advisor to the king was so wise, and the king praised him on a daily basis. One day the king was playing with his sword, and by accidentally the king had to cut his finger. In pain and anguish, the king cried, why had that has to happen to him, being the king? The advisor came to the king and told him, King, this has happened for a purpose. Do not cry. Take courage, and you understand what life has actually thrown at you. The king, in anguish and pain, ordered the guards to arrest this man as the advisor and put him in prison. To cut the story short, the king one day ventured into a journey going to another city where he was invited. Along the way, he had to meet the bandits. He had to meet the thieves who attacked him, got everything, and they had to seize the king. And when they seized the king, these bandits, according to their tradition, they had a task of the annual sacrifice of a human being. And this time it happened that the king that they seized was supposed to be given as a sacrifice, as a human sacrifice. So when they looked at the king carefully, they discovered that the king had no finger. According to their tradition, you cannot sacrifice an incomplete human being. So to them, the king was incomplete. In this way, they had to let go of the king. The king remembered the wise advisor and his words and said, no wonder he made that statement when I had this unfortunate. In life today, I will tell you that there are failures that draw us to our success. Only when we perceive and consider and look with our deeper eyes can we understand this. But if we look at every failure with an eye of a blessing, I can assure you our life will never be the same again. We'll live our life with a smile despite our failure, despite our failing on a day-to-day basis. It's better to fail than never to second point on how to overcome failure is by learning from the other people's failure in order for us to learn how not to fail. Learn how not to fail by considering or looking or doing research in the history of those people who lived before us. There are a lot of examples in the social media, in our researches, where we see people who lived before us on how they failed, and from that we can learn how not to fail. Let's look at their lives, what they failed, and make sure that we learn how not to fail from their failures. In doing this, we'll discover that our life will be a flourishing life and very successful, because we have already dealt with the failures of others and doing it the way without failing. In my conclusion, allow me to state that what life throws at us is not always our choice. But what we make out of it is always 100% our choice. Therefore, let's make sure that whatever we do with life is as a result of what we have chosen to do, not what life has thrown at us, because life can throw at us anything, but how we react and how we respond to those what life has thrown at us, or if your life yet posela, will determine our success. So in my answering on how we can overcome our failures is to consider our failures as a blessing, and secondly, to learn from other people's failure and learn how not to fail. Thank you. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and follow more from Mission and Wealthy Movement. Remember as well that care